All right, looks like we up. What's happening, everybody? What's going on? As you can see, I'm PhuturePhil. I'm PhuturePhil. Got me a webcam finally, trying to get all my issues sorted out. I'll tell you one thing that was annoying is that this webcam took me about a month to get, and it was the first one I found that wasn't like 150% markup. So, shout out Ted Jim, TEDGEM for the webcam. I'm reading the name on here because I literally just found one that had enough natural reviews, and then I was like, all right, I'm gonna go for it. So yeah, just hanging out tonight, testing this out, seeing how it works. Gonna maybe stream a little bit for like 5-10 minutes just to make sure I get a good consistent sound and picture quality. And then now that I have this webcam, I'm gonna be able to do some live mixes and stuff and be able to kind of let everybody see that and just make sure everything runs smoothly. So yeah, thanks for checking it out. Appreciate y'all. Yeah, thanks for checking it out. All right. Oh, I didn't send this over here. Let me know if y'all are hearing in the background. Trying to make sure my mic's not picking this up. Trying to make sure my mic's not picking this up because that would be awkward. Trying to make sure my mic's not picking this up. All right, looks like it's going. All right, looks like it's going. So I need to, one day I'm gonna get a bigger monitor for this in my studio. My studio is kind of a hot mess. Obviously it's not in a professional room or anything like that, but hey, you know what, you gotta make do with what you got and just go for it. I mean, I've been in this studio for a couple years now, and I've been very fortunate to have some nice things happen. So, I mean, it's just all about taking advantage of the tools you have and learning how to use them effectively, and then just busting your ass, you know? All right, let's see here. I'm just kind of taking a listen to this right now. So I think the hardest thing I gotta remember is that I'm gonna be on camera now. So it's like when I'm sitting here, just I gotta remember people watching. I'm gonna start. You're gonna be like, "What is he doing?" Oh no, he's picking his nose in the studio. But now on the real, burying my hands in my head and all that, all the emotions of the studio. Okay. So this is a little harsh, and you're gonna be like, "Why are you doing that?" But I'm going kind of for a more particular sound here, so that is really why I went very harsh on the filter right there, on the EQ cut, the shelf, or however you want to call it. Whatever. People use so many terms that you can just say what you want. Oh, what's up, Plumas? How you doing, dog? All right, so the question is, how's the mic quality? How's it? Are you hearing me all right? Because my levels are looking pretty good in here. I just want to make sure it's translating to the screen or to the stream. Because my levels are looking pretty good in here. I just want to make sure it's translating to the screen or to the stream. Because my levels are looking pretty good in here. Screen. Yeah, okay. All right. Video quality good. What's up, man? What's happening? That's my awkward socially distanced, not sure what sign to use with my hand, peace or thumbs, I don't know. Sweet. All right. I think I managed to figure all the issues out with this, with my setup right now. It took me a while and finally got everything, but it's looking good. I'm trying to, build that stream confidence up a little bit. All right, let's see here. Let me go back to this panel OBS. Yeah, the only thing I need is I have a small monitor here to my right, and I'd like to get one to maybe go above my monitor or so on the side or something, one that's a little bit bigger. But this one, I can't complain. I'm actually, my dad's let me borrow it for free, so I was like, I use it. Oh man, you gotta charge that phone up. Oh, well, it's all good, man. Yeah, now I can actually talk to everybody without having to answer everything in chat. So it's looking nice here too. All right, let me mess around for a little bit. Oh, and then another thing that's real cool that I'll tell y'all real quick before I get into it. This is more like an informational stream. Is that I believe I figured out a way to send my streams to IG as well, to my Instagram, or at least send the audio. So it'll be a totally different camera feed because it'll be my phone camera, but it'll have the audio directly from my interface. I just am waiting for this cord to come in the mail, and then we'll have a little bit of IG action as well. So yeah, I'm excited for that. I'm fine though, right? It took me a month and a half to get all this stuff together, but part of the reason is this quarantine caught everybody off guard, I'm pretty sure. I mean, just on the length and the severeness, like I thought that things were going to be handled a little differently when it came to our, not to get super into the weeds, but I thought that it would be handled more appropriately at first. This way we wouldn't have to go super crazy, but we got to do what we got to do to keep everybody safe. So, but because of that, I spent a couple weeks just chilling and kind of trying to figure out what to do and waiting for stuff to come in the mail. So now we're hitting the ground running. All right, audio's looking good too. Let me switch over here real quick. Turn it up a little bit. So I'm trying to match my levels up somewhat. But yeah, so all right. This is a very simple song structure when it comes to the chords. It's really about kind of milking these melodies and being a little more harmonic when it comes to the chord structure on the bottom. Ooh, that's no good, man. So one thing I did change from the last time y'all have heard this song is my reverb and delays weren't really, I won't say they weren't sounding good, but they weren't sounding how I wanted them to sound. I thought I had everything tempo matched to where I liked it, but I went on the internet and got my trusty delay time calculator just to double check. And on some of them, I was off a little bit when I did it by ear, so I kind of tightened it up a little bit, so the reverbs are gonna sound a little bit better in every way now. Let's see, the first ones, I believe on the ARP, I put a little or not new, but I kind of tweaked the reverb times here and the delay time. So actually, the delay time's still on an eighth, but then on my reverb send, I made the pre-delay basically at 121 BPM, made about 60 milliseconds. You know, it's like 57 or 58. So it's just just a slight touch. Sorry, I almost burped there. I didn't want to burp in the mic, but it's a slightly more controlled echo, and it to me it makes it sound much better. And then I took some of the reflections down so that it wouldn't kind of hit so suddenly when that first reverb reflects off, that early reflection. I kind of tampered that down a little bit. Let's see, what else did I messed with this too. This is a little more noticeable because I kind of tampered down that early reflection too, just to make it sound a little wider, have a little more space. And then I matched that pre-delay on the reverb. Then the delay, I actually went 1/6 instead of 1/8, just because I like the sound of it. It's just a little bit of a difference, but it's the same kind of effect. So all right, let's see here. Yeah, and then is there anything else that I did? So let me put this on the shelf here. That's just my recorder. So actually, you know what? For all the producers, any producers watching right now, this is a great free plugin from Voxingo. Sorry. And it basically allows you to take your DAW output from your audio interface, and it basically sends it to OBS or however you're streaming. And so it basically makes it so that you can record and stream through your DAW, and it's great. And then Voxingo Span, just amazing monitoring, and it's free. So you can see all your frequency spectrum all at once. I've talked about this almost every time I've streamed, and how amazing this plugin is for monitoring and referencing. Another thing too that you might notice from the last time is that I've worked really hard on cutting some of these harsh high-end frequencies, not making it sound too dramatic, but getting that slight dip down where it's a little bit more tame and subtle, because you don't want your high end to just continue just kind of bashing you in the head. That's how you tire out your listeners' ears. You want it to basically be more of I say like between 12,000 to 50, 60 hertz. 60 hertz to 12,000 is a good range where you want all your sounds. You can have some artifacts and transients here and there, like maybe not down here, but up in the high end, it's all right. It's not gonna hurt. But then remember, number one rule of music production and mixing is if it sounds good to you and it sounds good on all different types of speakers, then just go with it. Like there's a standard, but it doesn't have to be standard. You can stylistically do what you want. If you want to break some rules, break some rules if it sounds cool. If it doesn't work, then you got to pivot. But if it does work, go for it. Like there's nothing wrong with that. All right, let's see here. Okay, so stream's looking good. Break all rules. Oh man, that's right. That's That's my guy there. Break all rules. Oh, I think I'm clipping a little bit on the mic. Let me turn this down. Anyway, yeah, I think it's picking up. That's another thing. My mic is a little touchy. It's picking up my speakers when I'm trying to play the song back. I'm gonna turn it down a little bit. I'm not using my headphones right now, but probably next time I stream, I'll put my headphones on. That way I won't have to worry about the mic picking up anything too crazy. Let's see. What else do I want to show? Okay, save this, actually. I did mess around. All right, so I did one other thing. Where'd it go to? Here it is. So this is like, I was kind of messing around. This is kind of a God tier pluck right here. Well, not God tier, but just I was surprised how well I fixed this. I'm just gonna play the pluck by itself, just to kind of show. I worked on this track on stream too, but and I was like, I might as well go for it. Oh, you know what? I just realized y'all probably can't hear that because I don't have the recorder on here. Oops. Let's see. Yeah, always remember, don't forget this. 24-bit file. Okay, that looks good. Oh, it's not sending an out file? Really? Oh, well, actually my audio is coming through here, so maybe it's good. Hold on, let me check on Twitch real quick. Hold on, let me check on. Okay, y'all are getting audio? Never mind then. I don't know, that's weird. Hold on, let me check on. I should have to run that through, but I guess not. Audio? Never mind then. I don't know, that's weird. Hold on, let me check on. I should have to run that through, but I guess not. Audio? Never mind then. Obviously, my computer is working a little strange, but oh well, I'll take it. This pluck sound though was just, so I had it earlier and it sounded really thin and I just didn't like it at all. And I was like, you know what? I need to just spend a whole day trying to fix this and messing around. And there are two real things I did. The first real thing I did was I had two reverbs on here that were kind of dry. And I was like, you know what? Well, I had one reverb and I had a send. And I was like, you know what? It's better to keep the send automation. And I was like, let me try cutting this entire reverb to dry so that the signal coming through is dry and it's the actual signal. And, a lot of people, you would think that if something has more reverb on it, it sounds more spatial and stuff, but which it does. But with plucks, you almost want to have that dry signal coming through first. Like you can go through a dry reverb because it kind of just polishes that signal up and then use a send. So you're still getting the dry big pluck signal going to your master or to your semi-master, however you have it routed. But then the pluck also is getting that reverb treatment with a really wet washed reverb from the send, and it just makes a world of difference. And then when you automate your cutoff and your amp release and also do your reverb, it just makes it sound okay. Makes everything sound a little bit more interesting. picking up, sorry. My mic is. So that's one thing, and also another thing, and this is very important. You should do this by ear, but you should always, or don't be afraid to look at it as well, and look at a delay calculator and stuff, just to kind of give yourself a reference. But playing with your sidechain release, if you're sidechaining stuff, can make the world of difference, especially when it comes to progressive house. Like this pluck here I'm working with a 7 curve, so it's a little bit wider than, and the attack is a little bit slower, so it basically the side chain kind of feels like you're pumping and bouncing a little bit. And this is in Fruity Limiter. Other compressors, sidechain compressors, have different settings and stuff. I like my attack actually for plucks to stay pretty sharp and pretty fast. Just a stylistic choice. I mean, some people have longer, more medium plucks, maybe 10, 20, 30 milliseconds, whatever. And then my release here, I believe, let me copy so I don't lose it, is at 120 or 116. And I basically have that to almost simulate the release of an eighth note, basically at 127 BPM. So, or 30 seconds, sorry, not an eighth. Sustain you can kind of play around with. Your knee and ratio, you want your ratio kind of light to mid, so like 2 to 5 to 1. You don't want to go any harsher than that. You don't want to smash this down. Put a little saturation on there, just kind of a little bit off the top. And then when you combine that with your automation, it just kind of makes things just kind of pop a little bit. If that was a little too much tension curve. And always use tension curves to turn a straight, boring line into something that adds a little bit of humanness and a little bit of, randomness. It gets rid of kind of that rigid robotic interval, kind of I'm going up at this set rate. When you add some curves and tension to it, it makes things, even if it's slight, like 5-10% or less, it makes it sound good. It adds a little bit of humanism in it, if you're not automating these knobs yourself. Like, honestly, I would be automating them myself right now, but I do not know where my keyboard is right now. I think it's somewhere in this room under the couch or in the closet, but I have to find it. It's been a lot of, hey, we're stuck at home, let's redecorate everything, and now I have no idea where all my stuff is. So yeah, that's, family's awesome. But anyway, yes, Plumas, I love that human music too, man. Snake jazz is the best. We love free jazz, man. We love free jazz. Yeah, let's see here. Okay, so this is not... Alright. Sorry, I'm looking at my OBS right now, and I'm like, okay, this thing is... Let me see if I can show this real quick. My mic is still picking up everything. So this section here is a little extreme kind of transition break phrase right here. You bring that filter all the way down, and then you bring it all the way back up to close the track out. Baseline back in, and then I could have started it right here, but I decided to start on that last bar and just kind of go from there. Bring everything down kind of at the same time. And see, it creates a natural transition, a natural fade out, and there you have it, you know, just, man, I haven't watched that guy in a long time. Tipsy Bartender, he used to say that all the time. I watched all those videos when I was in college trying to make all those drinks. Man, it's too funny. Alright, so the arrangement on this one is not exactly how I want it. I think since I combined it into two different things, I probably need to make a new arrangement and just mess around with it, or at least shorten the intro a little bit, because I thought I wanted to be a little more proggy and build up to it, but I think I want to kind of just jump into it. But part of me likes having, at least just personally, having a minute, two phrases really. Well, technically it's more than two, but I like having a minute of build up, you know, 30 seconds of an intro, 30 seconds of a build to kind of play around. And, you know, once I start detailing and throwing some more sounds in there, I just have more room to kind of play around the background. Oh, you know we spitting, man. That's right. But yeah, so that's that. Since this is just a test, I'm gonna kind of show you what I've been working on lately. So that I'm allowed to show. It's great. I sent these two off, but I'll just wait till they get mastered. Let's see. What is available to show? So this is a good example of a track that has been worked on for a long time. And kind of in a good and bad way. I think I've worked on it too much now. But let me get... Alright. While this is doing that, I'm going to see if I can tweak this filter on my mic real quick. Real quick. Tweak it. Might have just ripped it. I don't want to give away too many goodies, so I'm not gonna let this thing just play on right now. Maybe when I do the full stream in a few days, this will be the track I work on. And so this one, I wanted to mix between like kind of classic pluck prog and kind of more out there space sounding sounds. Just kind of see how that goes. And that sound right there is just what I built the whole track around. Oh, you trying to get me to rap on here, man? We gonna make progressive house rap? Oh man. It's kind of it's like my future style, but it's a little more proggy and kind of throwing it back there. Just to what I was doing back in the day when I was making tracks, and I actually have another one that I don't know if some of these I don't know if I'm ever gonna release them. I might self-release them. I don't know. I'm having a bit of a problem, and the problem is that I'm making stuff that's very not my typical, club friendly stuff, and I'm trying to figure out where to put it out, and it's looking like right now I think I'm just gonna end up putting it out myself, doing some self-releases, because it's really the best way for me, I feel like, to get that out there and make it look all right, if that makes sense, and feel right. But oh man, that would be dope. That would actually be really dope. So this one is, besides my song Deadbolt, which is, I haven't checked it in a little while, but last time I checked it was over like 1.6 mil on Spotify. I actually think this one right here I'm about to pull up is better than Deadbolt. Like, I just think it's a little bit tighter groove. I don't know if it's going to do as well as Deadbolt, because Deadbolt kind of just happened out of nowhere, but and I actually have a radio mix on this one too. Actually, I like the radio mix. It's kind of a good little teaser to get you into the whole groove of it. And this is basically like what I'm calling deep-ish minimal house / dub / PhuturePhil. It's very simplistic, but it's just got a little groove that's just kind of going. Tried to be just as atmospheric as Deadbolt, but just, a little different. And this is the, I'll just say sustained chords and root chords are great because you can use them and get a different feel from literally almost the same notes. If that makes sense. It probably doesn't make sense because the way I think of things is not necessarily traditional, but bass line is super simple. And then bass line processing is just, heavy shelf filter EQ on here. I cut out almost all the high end. Basically made my own low pass filter with this at 500 hertz. And you can see how beautiful parametric EQ2 is. And then I actually used Voxinjo. They have amazing free plugins. Their tube amp is great. Doubled down on did some slight cuts and notches on the EQ of the bass line. This is just wildness, really. Haha, wild. Dude, yes, Matrix 4. Yeah, man, that's what I'm talking about. Like, just that kind of mix between, like, that after hours feel, you know? Like, okay, this is danceable, but it's still kind of eerie and atmospheric, and you could play it at the end of the night at a club, or you could play it at a warm-up, or you could play it at home, or you could use it in Matrix 4 credits. Like, yeah, all sorts of a lounge scene, all that kind of stuff. But okay, so I'll tell y'all a little secret about this. So I kind of went full on and made a whole little backstory about this song and how it's like it's multi-layered, multi-leveled. But I was just thinking about the name of the song kind of ties into the backstory, and it's if I get to do what I'm trying to do with it and figure it out, it's gonna be pretty interesting, I think, because it's the first time I've ever done something like that with one of my own songs. So. But yeah, so it's pretty interesting to me, at least. Kind of exploring that kind of side of my stuff. Let's see. I don't think I have anything else. Okay, this one is interesting as well. Yes, I know. One day I'll get a new computer too. I need to start planning out my build. So this one is kind of. I was thinking about the movie Gravity, and I started making this one. I was like, oh, what would happen if you were like on a spaceship just chilling, and then you had to go out to do something, and then, oh crap. Oh, the script, man. The script is right here, bro. Did I not put span on this one? Let me look at this real quick. I gotta switch to high res. Change my block size. And change my slope to 3. There we go. Yeah, still a little on the low end here, and I need to trim a little bit more over here in the high end of it. So it's just real simple bass line pattern. And then here's just a little kind of play up on the scale. So.
foot stuck on some cords.
So yeah, it's just kind of messing around with that one a little bit. This one I've been working on for a while too, so I'm just trying to kind of knock all these out, or at least get them as close to ready for mastering as I can, so that if I'm just doing little details and stuff, that's all I have to really do and worry about. Um, let's see here. I mean, even my drum fills are pretty. I just alternate between a whole bunch of them. Then I got a couple over here. Just yeah, I mean, you just gotta make it so that you add a little bit of transitional variety, and then you can throw in some fills in the middle. Kind of randomly, or you can bring in some percussion elements in and out, like I got this here. Just all this percussion in here, just kind of mixing it up, and then this too, this sound effect, adding a little bit of atmosphere. um yeah, it's less can be more sometimes. I mean, that's you don't have to have 80,000 channels full of 80,000 layers. If you can make a interesting track with, this one, it's got under 40, you can do that, like, or you can double up on them. Like, it just depends. It's all however you want to do it, whatever you want to do. You need to make sure everything still sounds, good and full, and to the way you want it to translate on speakers. And a good way to do that is I would listen on different environments. So I would listen on your studio monitors. And when you do that, also make sure you do a little bit of your monitoring in mono. Just change your master out to mono just for like 5 to 10 minutes to mix, listen through, then change it back to stereo. Don't forget to do this, but test it out in mono, because then you're kind of giving yourself an idea of what it's going to sound like when you listen to it next, when you render it out and listen to it on some laptop speakers, on some in-ear headphones, in your car, wherever you're listening to. um I did that a lot when, like, the first 4 or 5 years when I was learning how to produce, was running through all these different listener environments, because people are not 75-80% of the people who listen to your music aren't listening on studio monitors. I mean, unless all your people who listen to music are producers, then maybe. But there are going to be people listening to it on their commute, or over a Bluetooth speaker at home while they're cleaning their bathroom, or they're cooking or whatever, or in their car or whatever. So you want to make sure it translates pretty well in all of those different environments. Like, if you don't really do that, if you don't consider that, it could sound great on studio monitors, but then somebody listens to it in a Bluetooth speaker, on some laptop speakers where it's mostly in mono, and it sounds subpar. It's missing what you wanted it to really sound like. So just to check your mixes out and check yourself. But at the end of the day too, if it sounds better in your studio and it doesn't really sound quite right, but you don't want to make changes, then just you learn for the next one. You just keep moving, keep improving, keep building upon what you've been doing. That's about. I know I'm sitting here on my soapbox right now. I'm sorry. But I think people get caught up too much on trying to sound a certain way, or do things a certain way. And it's like, just do it, and then it'll happen. You'll figure it out, or you'll figure out what works, what doesn't work, and then you'll go from there. Um, so yeah, I am off my soapbox now. You're probably like, wow, this dude talked for like 10 minutes about that. Yeah, I did. Sorry, not sorry. um, All right, I think that's all I can show you right now before. Is there anything else that. Ooh, that's kind of weird. Okay, that's my weird stuff I'm making. Oh, this is kind of cool. This is basically done. I just haven't figured out how I'm going to release it. All right, what's my CPU load looking? 30. Okay, it's not bad. Oh, did I ever finish this interlude mix? I don't think I ever did. Yeah, no, I never finished that. I'll do that later. This this song has kind of a story too. So let me see here. All right, let's see here. Yeah, probably. Ooh, what's going on here? Oh, it's getting a little CPU load on. There's kind of a lot of automation going on right here. I mean, not a lot, but. So that's that one. That'll be out some way, somehow, pretty soon. I actually am considering a free download for this one, a free download EP, or some sort of way, because I want to kind of do a little bit more of that like storytelling I was talking about with those other tracks. I kind of want to do that with this one too, because I wrote it kind of for a specific reason, and it ties into all those to those two of the other ones I've shown you, and then a few that I haven't shown you. Um, so yeah, that's happening sometime soon. That's one of the pitfalls. I guess you know it since I'm talking right now. I'll talk. That's one of the pitfalls of kind of doing your own thing, and when you're partly independent and partly when you're doing stuff on a track basis with labels, like you kind of have to be more decisive when you're independent because you don't have anyone. You have to basically be the person pushing you to do things and make decisions. So if you want to go that independent way, you gotta get used to kind of telling yourself, "Look, I gotta do this. I gotta get it done. I gotta be decisive, and I gotta put it out with a plan." Like or if you don't overthink it and just throw it out there. But I always like to do my releases with a whole plan because you know, do different promotions like I write my own press release and do stuff like that. I email it out to some of my network and my contacts, some of my DJ friends, bloggers, producer friends, other people in the industry that I know personally from shows I've played and stuff like that, just to kind of, help build a little bit of buzz for it, and the free download thing, I'm really just doing this because it's more of a creative opportunity for me to do a little bit of storytelling and also, give back to all my supporters that have been with me and listening to me since my first release in 2013. So, yep, that's that one. Yeah, I think that's it, honestly. The only thing I can think of right now is I'm just going to be doing some studio streams, and I might get a couple gaming streams going too, because I have been playing a lot of games. I just haven't been doing it on stream. Um, Let me see here. I think I'm going to go ahead and call this stream pretty soon. Let me switch to the screen here and close out everything. But yeah, basically, I just wanted to test everything today and kind of see how things were. So yeah, thank y'all for tuning in and checking it out. Make sure you guys are following me on Twitch here because I will be streaming, and next time I'll put a prior notice out and kind of make sure you guys know what time and what dates so I can be a little bit more consistent. And yeah, so appreciate it. Y'all have a good one. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Thank you.